During ExileCon, Grinding Gear Games had a number of announcements which included updates and plans for next year. But along with the news of Path of Exile 2 or 4.0, came news of updates happening before the release of this entire new campaign. Update 3.9, known as Conquerors of the Atlas, was announced, a new League Metamorph, and the unveiling of Path of Exile Mobile. In Path of Exile 2, there will be 7 new act stories that take place 20 years after the end of the game. Many changes will come with this, including the game's core systems and reworked mechanics for each of the game's 7 character classes. Along with these gameplay changes are some visual overhauls with physics-based rendering to give a more realistic look. When it is released, it will offer 1 game, 2 campaigns, meaning players can choose whether they want to run the Path of Exile 2 campaign. Grinding Gear Games has not announced a release date for Path of Exile 2 yet, but the website does mention that the developer will most likely be holding a beta in late 2020. Update 3.9 Conquerors of the Atlas update and the new Metamorph League will release on December 13th for PC. The mobile game is still in development and no release date has been announced as of yet. Publisher Square Enix has shared in an interview with Babylon's Fall by developer Platinum Games will be receiving some news before the year is out. It was back in 2018 at E3 when Square Enix had announced Babylon's Fall for PS4 and Steam. Developed by Platinum Games was pretty much all the information they shared, except for a teaser trailer showing a timeline that called out the year CE 5470, known as The Awakening. The type of game hasn't been shared, however from the trailer it could have been teasing an action RPG of some sort from the type of combat we see and the 4 individual characters which could be representative of classes. Platinum Games has also published such titles as Nier Automata. But an interview on Automaton with Yuzuki Saito, a producer at Square Enix, has shared that the Babylon's Fall is still in development and news would be released before the end of 2019. Saito was one of the producers for Dragon Quest X, an MMORPG. In an interview on Xbox On, head of Xbox Phil Spencer shares his thoughts on what Xbox needs more of, answering RPGs and wanting to make them more of a focus for the company. He mentions such past titles as Mass Effect 1, Jade Empire, Fable as the inspiration behind this vision, as well as more recent releases The Outer Worlds and upcoming Wasteland 3. He shared, "I think RPG is an area we purposely focused on and wanted to do more." If you look back on the studios that Microsoft have acquired, it's apparent there is an interest in growing their RPG titles, with NXL Entertainment known for Bard's Tale 4 Barrows Deep, as well as Obsidian with Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, and more recently the sci-fi RPG The Outer Worlds, all now working with Xbox Game Studios. There are also rumours of Fable 4 still whispering in the wind. Any new RPG projects will be also preparing for the next generation of console, Xbox Scarlet, as well as Project xCloud. Square Enix will bring the sandbox RPG Dragon Builders 2 to Steam this December. Dragon Quest Builders 2 combines the love of building things with the action of combat in an RPG sandbox, and it's coming to Steam on December 10th. This title follows an alternative storyline. It is still based on the Dragon Quest story, as it follows as if the villain from Dragon Quest II still lived on. Those who purchase on Steam will get the base game and all previously released downloadable content. This includes Hotto Stuff Pack, Aquarium Pack, and Modernist Pack, giving players a range of content, recipes, and cosmetics to enjoy. If you pre-order, you will also gain a few bonus recipes as well. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is now available to pre-order on Steam for $59.99 along with pre-order bonuses. This year there are some top contenders for the various categories for the Game Awards 2019 happening on December 12th. On a night that celebrates the notable releases of the year, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, The Outer Worlds, and Disco Elysium are just a few of the games that have made it onto the list. A number of these games have scored multiple categories, such as From Software's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, nominated for Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Action Adventure Game. For the RPG category, there's quite a list, with Disco Elysium from Zaum, Final Fantasy XIV from Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts 3 from Square Enix, Monster Hunter World Iceborne from Capcom, and The Outer Worlds from Obsidian Entertainment Private Division. The Game Awards are also a time where announcements will be made. We're still hoping to see more of Elden Ring, which has yet to gain more than a teaser trailer, you can check out everything we know about Elden Ring to know more. If you want to cast your vote, search TGA Vote through Google. The Game Awards 2019 will be live streamed on December 12th at 5:30 PM PT or 8:30 PM ET on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, Facebook, Twitter, and other platforms. Gus reveals in the latest issue of Famitsu this week, translated by Gamatsu, that there are further characters coming to Fairy Tail. When we caught up with the developer at Kotekmo earlier this month, Kazuki Kikuchi, the producer, shared that they would be focusing on adding as many characters as possible to enrich the world of Fairy Tail for fans. Making good on this, characters Rogue Cheney, Kagura Mikazuki, Sharia Blendy, Sting, and Ichiya Vandalay Kotobuki will all be options as playable characters according to Gust. Some further info was also shared, including Mode Change, a strengthened state that some characters can use, and Super Magic, where Makarov will support you with Super Magic, which has a chance to be triggered with Continual Magic Corporation. Fairy Tail is set to release on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and PC via Steam in spring 2020. Publisher THQ Nordic has released a new trailer featuring Darksiders Genesis abilities. The trailer highlights the Creature Core system players can use to upgrade and customize their horsemen's battle skills. There is a choice of choosing the horsemen's Drive for War, who both start with a number of different attacks. They can gain more skills as you progress. These creature cores can be gained by defeating enemies and bosses. You can also visit Volgrim, who will offer these in exchange for souls. Darksiders Genesis will be coming in the form of a top-down action title similar to Diablo. It will pit players against enemies in a dungeon crawler. You'll kill monsters and gain loot. Darksiders Genesis will release on PC and Stadia on December 5th. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch versions will release on February 14, 2020. Larian students have launched a Kickstarter to help fund a Divinity Original Sin board game, but one day in and they have already reached their goal. The campaign sets to involve an evolving storyline and has a set price for pre-orders at $120. Previously, Larian has used Kickstarter to fund their RPGs Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2. For this project, the goal is set at $160,000, which has already been reached with over 1,000 backers having supported a $220 or more pledge, which gains them a Divinity Original Sin Extended Edition. The game consists of adventuring through the world of Divinity, whether you plan to go it alone or play it with up to 4 players. Choosing your character will determine your traits and abilities. The story will direct you on the different locations you will encounter, some leading to bountiful rewards, while others may lead to danger in combat. The board game uses the Chronicle system, which means your choices will also impact the future of the board game in terms of the expansion. Once you submit your choices made during your adventure with your one-time code, the developers Linvander Studios will decide where to take the game next. If this project has caught your attention and wish to back it, you can visit the Divinity Original Sin game Kickstarter, which has just under a month to go. Publisher Idea Factory has announced that Arc of Alchemist will launch in the West for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch in January 2020. Arc of Alchemist, developed by Compile Heart, is coming to PlayStation 4 and Switch on January 30th, 2020 for North America, and on January 31st for those in Europe. The game follows the story of a captain called Quinn Brailsford as she leads her soldiers into battle on a mission to fight back against the enemy nations now threatening her kingdom. Possessing an ancient alchemic device called Lunagear, it is rumored to unlock great power with the use of its 4 orbs, but currently it only holds 1. The game has 7+ playable characters, each specializing in unique weapons, attacks, and abilities. Players will need to build a strong base for their party to relax and reconvene during battles, planning for the next attack. The gameplay features action RPG combat with a new polished battle system and UI. Well, that's it for the Week in the Wikis. Please join us again next week for yet another great week of gaming. Remember to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits. And budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks again for being part of this great community. Keep checking in with us with news, reviews, YouTube streams and vids, and general wiki goodness.